Hey, good morning, guys. It's Friday finally, and yeah, just been a crazy market this whole week. Um, but that's how it is in the summertime. So you should be having fun in the summer, going to the beach or whatever you're doing, man. Should be having a good time. So it is what it is, right? Sometimes staring at the charts for daily and stuff can really just drag on you, and you're just missing everything else in life. So just get out there, go work out, go have a good time when the market's being slow or the market's not going the way we want it to go. It's not always going to go the way we want it to go, right? Unless you're an investor, it could be pretty emotional. So try to keep that emotionless attitude when you're dealing with the markets and its behavior and whatnot. So with SPY, we had an interesting level that happen. We got to the 434 level, and it's interesting because I mentioned it in the video on Wednesday, right? That we would hit 433, or it's possible we could hit 433. But my own bullish bias opinion was, well, no, we're just going to keep going up, right? Well, that's true, but we also need to focus on those levels that it could hit. And that's why it's always important to take a look at the algorithms if you have access to those, right? If you're just a viewer, you know, lurking the YouTubes and you pass through this, wow, you just came across a great opportunity for you to see the market, the price action, and to trade like institutions trade. So that's the beauty, right? Because a lot of people probably didn't see a 433 level, but we did. So how do we react to it is not reacting that it dropped down to 433, just knowing that 433 was a pretty high support, not high support, a strong support, right? So if we break that support, then we get into lower numbers. So let's just see what our numbers are today, right? We climbed out of the trenches down here at 434 in the green bands. Okay. So right now we're kind of testing that deviation still. We have a little bit of resistance at 442. Okay. Now, what I would like to see is that the bands start kind of curling up a little bit because we're kind of in a squeeze. So I think we might see a pop this morning, uh, maybe hit up to 442 and maybe a rejection after. We'll just have to see where the money's going today. It looked like they put a lot of money in Bitcoin, because Bitcoin's been going up and high, up $2,000 increments here and there. So uh, especially the altcoins, especially Doge. Doge might be one of those ones you might want to look at today if you're in the cryptocurrency. I think Doge is ready to pop. So always be diversifying your wealth. Moving it to different markets sometimes is is the way you're going to have more success than just staying in one market. Okay, just be careful with it. Don't go crazy with leverage all the time. You can have a little fun with it here and there, but don't like make it become a habit where you're stressing yourself out trying to make money. It should never be that way, right? Never. You should always enjoy what you do, period. If you're not, it is a job, right? And to define a job is when your emotions are taking over your life, right? That job's taking over your life. So don't let that happen. If you're in that, then find a way to get out of it, right? And I'm not just trading, but any job. If you're in that kind of situation right now, find a way to get out of it. Use that as motivation. So, uh, but yeah, my levels right now, I'm seeing. Let's look at the 10 minute. All right, let's just see. Right, we're gonna take away the bias right now, the human bias of bullish. Let's go to the bearish scenario. 433 is our stronghold. If we break that, then 419 would be the next level. Okay, if the institutions want to push it down to 420, that's where we're going. Okay, that's just how it is. If it wants to re-break, it still needs a little bit of room. It seems like to go a little higher, right? I don't know if we're going to make higher highs today, but let's look at their max. Our max right now is 446. Okay, so that's going to break even with some of our other levels. So we've already hit 446. Okay, so if it does want to go up today, maybe we might see 442, 443. And if they really want to push it, 446 would be that level that's going to hit. Okay. So we got some interesting information with VIX. VIX again is the inverse of a bullish market, right? They're the bearish guys. They're the ones that are making money off contracts when the market's going bearish. Okay, so this is the bullish side. So the bullish side, we're holding it at $30.39. Remember in the stream I talked about, not the stream, the video I talked about $29 or $27.90. You'd have to go back to that video and see what those levels were. But again, if it held over it and it stayed over it. So those are also important indicators when you're dealing with these markets that are already overbought, right? Because SPY is very overbought right now. And when they're dropping, we just need to look at the VIX to see how low is it going to go, right? So we're testing those waters today, and 3059 is the area. If VIX breaks, then we might see 420 for SPY. So if it breaks down though, then $28 is, again, that's going to be that support. If it breaks that support, then we're back into that bull market again. So it really depends on if they want to push money in early, since it's Friday, or they're going to let this thing dwindle down, and then maybe they'll surge some money at 2 o'clock, right? Maybe it will drop some more. So we'll just have to see, man. There's a lot of crazy stuff going on in the world. It could have a little correlated catalyst with the technicals. So we'll see what's going on. But yeah, that's my levels for VIX. All right, let's look into Bitcoin. Bitcoin, again, wealth will just move where the money's going, and it's definitely been Bitcoin. And what's interesting is Bitcoin just kind of breaks rules, right? Uh, to me, right, just looking at the algorithms, I would think that it would probably go like this more and then start bouncing, right? But instead, it just wants to roll back up. That's fine. We're going to test those ranges again at 47,388. That's why we got them. Now, if we stay above the 47,388, then we can see, 52,000 or something in a week or two, right? Just depends how fast they want to move it. So if we look at the NESI, we already see a rejection here. We see the range broke through, and there's a little bit of rejection, right? So we got to break through that. Okay, our support, 38. Let's try a different time frame besides a 38 one, because that's a little too low right now. Though we probably do see 39 if it does want to retrace. That's another thing we got to look at, is that bearish side. So 39,000. Okay, so 44,000, that would probably be the level. If it breaks below 44,303, that's when you have to kind of set your mindset that either if it doesn't bounce here, we're going to keep going down to 39,038. Okay, so always keep those levels. I got one more level for you. Is 46,000. That's current right now. So the 10-minute is a farther out level. That's if it breaks the 46,000 zone. 44,000 would be our next zone. Okay, you leverage guys, you should pay attention in that. If you are playing, say, a low leverage but a little bit of liquidity in there, if you're hitting 46,000, your liquidity level is 44,000, you might want to exit, just because even if a wick hits that 44,000, you get liquidated. Meaning it might close above 45,000, all right, or close above that liquidity level, but a wick will hit you still. Okay, so very important if you're playing the leverage game. I don't know if I want to look at Tesla. It, you know, Tesla kind of just moves with the market. It dumped. It's following the same rules. I see 651, 659. It's still showing bearish to me. So we'll have to see. Maybe it wants to go down lower to the 600s. I'm not that bullish right now on Tesla, just because there looks like there's a little bit of room for it to drop lower. So, we have the green level. It's kind of in the greens, so it's a little safer. But I would just make a rule that if it breaks above 680, then we might see a test it back up to 700 today. If it doesn't, then we'll see those lower lows. So that's just something I would look at for Tesla. And let's see what some of the viewers, um, they wanted me to check some tickers out. So this is going to be in real time because I haven't done my homework on these. So let's check out Uber. Uber Technologies looks like it's been dropping here and there, so it's been in the green bands, been stair stepping. So we have a support here. That was the first buy from institutionals at 37.82. And you can look in the lower right corner. 37.82 was in the low bands. This is why we look at that 80% rule with when it comes to the deviations. So if it holds above this 39, then we can just assume that the price is gonna want to try to move up to 40. So it looks like it's in a squeeze. I would say levels that we could watch right now is again 39, 39.40, 39.66, something around there. If we hold that, there's that resistance, the previous resistance at 41. So if we break above 41, long term, right? Let's look long term. If we want to get into some longer term swing or positions, leaps and stuff, and 47, that's a level. So 47. Let's see if we can get even higher. It'll give us even more information. So it's testing a pretty critical level. So if it does break that 38, 38.33, or where that institutional buy was 37.96, just say that, then we could see $30 for Uber. So Uber is testing for sure. Very, very, uh, be very careful with this one. Just because it has been kind of lurking on this top deviation doesn't mean it necessarily bounces every time. Sometimes this is where the fear sits in. If the market wants to go lower, then expect Uber to go lower too. So there's your levels for that. And let's look at NVIDIA, another one a user suggested. This one's already been in the overbought section, as you can see, and it's been bearish since 202, 205, 204. I would say, if it holds above 194, it's definitely playable, but it might be a squeeze situation I'm seeing with NVIDIA. Let's just see if I'm right. Yeah, so you can see how it's been squeezing in this middle section here on the bands, and if it does want to go lower, then we can see all the way down to 158. Yeah, we have to look at that level. If the market wants to keep dropping today, these are buy opportunities. This is what I look at. So if I see 159 hitting on Nvidia, I'm buying. Right? It's not even a question. So the if it and the same with the other ones that we were looking at. So it's always important to look at that. But let's look what our max is, 223. Okay, so if we're super bullish and we surge up today, 223, 224 might be some calls that you could get in. I don't know if I would do the long term unless it's super bullish, right? If we do have a really good day, then maybe you could do some long terms next week or a month out or whatever for that 223 strike. So Netflix was another one that surged up. So this is more of an analyst of why it surged up, and I'm sure there was some kind of catalyst behind it. But let's just see what the bands and the lines were saying. So we saw that it was testing a pretty critical VWAP down here. Let me just circle that so you guys can see it. Blow it up so you can see it. Okay, so you can see it's been testing this middle zone VWAP through here, right? And the retail is just playing off and on. This looks more algo driven through here actually, but the surge did buy. People did buy, or whatever institutions bought in this green zone right here, and let's just see if there was a significant area. So the reason why I circled that is so you guys can actually see. All right, pay attention here, so you can see that circle that I did on the higher time frame. On the lower time frame, it was lower in the deviations, so it does make complete sense why it bounced that 80% rule. So it was nice and low at 407. This would have been a good entry to get into, and then you would have held. And then the news or catalyst and everything else was the excuse, was the reason, right, that it went higher. But really, this was the level that you wanted to pay attention to on the 12th, and then in the same scenario, with most tickers, right? That's how you want to play it. If you see something in the lower bands and or the lower even variance when you're using the multiplier, if you have access to our algos, that is, then you can see those levels that are way, a lot lower in price for a safer bounce, if you will. And that's where it was at August 12th. So yeah, so where is NVIDIA going right now? I mean, it could go higher, if they want to surge it up some more, or this could be, bulls getting trapped. It's happened for sure, especially if the market wants to dip again today. Um, Maybe new entries would be better. Let's see if we have any like bullish or bear. Like, so there's a little squeeze happening right now. 445. I would say that's a safer play. If we get above 445, 445. Where is that at? About right there somewhere. So another level would be 557. Let's just go max longer term out 629. And if it wants to break this 500 zone, right? So let's say we do have a crappy day in the market and it hits 500. Then we see levels at 368 if it breaks past this zone right here. Okay, it hasn't done that in a long time. That's why we got them all circled right there. But if it did, we got to pay attention to that level. So current levels that we're looking at for a scalp play today, I would say if it starts breaking past 529, I would wait and wait maybe for another entry at 515. Again, this is if the market is also pulling back pretty heavy. So that critical level is 507 for today. And yeah, I would definitely say the 524, 525 would be an area I'd probably get in an entry if it held, right? I don't know if I would play it right here unless it held above 445, right? So just different scenarios if it does want to break above. But 445 could also be a place where they, want to take profit or, bounce it up and then take profit for the weekend and it drops back down. So that's pretty much it. We'll discuss more, next week. You guys will get me back on Monday. Maybe we'll see some new information and stuff. But yeah, if you enjoy what you saw today, hit the likes, hit the subscribe so the algorithms can, we can get some attention on the YouTubes. Throw some comments down there, what you like, what you don't like about the video. And then let's leave you off with the, a positive note. Like I said, enjoy life. But what's also important, a lot of people are struggling right now. So why don't you, open that door for them? Say something, man. Just smile. Just smile. When you see someone walking by you, smile at them. You understand, you're like changing their whole day when you just smile at them. You don't have to say anything to them. Just smile at them, right? That's just gonna give them that boost, and they'll pass it like just that energy, just that positive energy, just moves like a wildfire. So just remember that for the day. But you know what? That's all I got, and you guys have a great weekend. I'm out.